This is the signal of not binded. Okay, the module is not connected to anything. When it changed to steady, it's connected. But I changed the signal to 1 Hertz instead of steady, because it is by software. I'm looking at the signal, and then I produce my own control. Let me check if I can. Can I use the forward?
You're not doing anything.
I
Go ahead and take it.
I want to put my screen. Yes.
Should be. There it is.
Okay. Now my screen will be there, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. I have a problem. This is blue term plus. Okay. You connect to my device is blue bolt. Okay. Now I have a running in the Arduino. Okay. And I send the I am planning to use the 80 tiny alone, just the chip, not the full
the whole thing.
board. Okay.
Yeah.
If I have time, I will make a board, a PCB, in Oshkosh. These guys that you can send
to
have all the Bluetooth bridge in a single module. And it's working, okay.
We got disconnected somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, just everything, all of it.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't just this computer, it was all of it. He blew it up.
Yeah.
Man.
No, it's only to demonstrate the idea. Proof of concept.
Yeah,
That looked cool.
That's one of those Ray wants. I like Wi-Fi. Ray likes doing Bluetooth.
Bluetooth's good too. What kind of board was it?
It's a 06.
It's the model. They use it in different boards called HC06.
HC06.
There are two.
It's a Bluetooth.
Small board that
direct
goes
connected Bluetooth. Got it. Okay. Yeah,
it's very.
Yeah, I've done them too. We've done it.
We can buy it in
usually, but
yeah.
It comes soldered in a small board with a 3-volt regulator and some level adapter or something to use with the Arduino. But it doesn't detect the signal to produce the reset, and you need that to download your program.
Okay.
That's why I use another microprocessor to sense when this board changes to bind it and produce the reset to Arduino to tell him, hey, here that a download sketch is coming. And he checked in the module.
Oh, okay, so you're using it as to
Like
program
separation,
devices, unattached devices.
Like a serial link through the Bluetooth.
To any serial device.
It's like a cable.
Yeah, the 06 has that master-slave thing.
You can,
You can
set as a master of a slave.
Yeah, you can program it and then turn it into a slave if you want to,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to. Yeah, it's pretty
It is
cool.
configured as a slave, and depending on the Arduino you will use, you use the Uno.
Uh-huh.
You need to program the baud rate 150,200.
Oh, okay.
But if you use the Milanova, the old ones, or the Nano, they works lower 57,000
Oh, okay.
bauds. You set the right speed, and the rest is working nice without problem. Next thing I will do is work with the robot to test different things without cable,
Oh, yeah.
Download a sketch and try some commands to check if everything's working okay. First thing I need to do is when the robot starts up, it will check the relationship between PWM number and the speed of the wheel to calibrate, because you will ask for speeds, but he don't know how is the voltage of your battery, how is the how you say to surface when you have mechanical parts, depend on the oiling of the parts, so they move easier or harder, How you call
Like the friction?
Friction, yes.
Friction.
Okay.
Your robot each wheel has different friction, or each motor has different state. Then the first thing you do is go forward, for example, half a second, and check what's the relationship between your PWM and the movement of your encoders.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's affected by your battery voltage. It's affected by a lot of things.
Yeah.
Then
What kind of surface you're on, how much friction you have. Yeah.
Then you can say, okay, go forward. You can estimate the speed.
It's my new toy.
Yes, I have 2 of those. I bought them 2 weeks ago, and no more, a month ago, and tried them. It's the Node, like the Node MCU, but smaller.
Yeah. I've got a bunch
Great.
of Node MCUs.
Yeah. I just tried a single program. Works okay.
Well,
To the side.
I bought the little temperature sensor
Yeah.
to plug into it and a little button to plug into it too.
Yeah.
So it's got the headers.
Yeah.
So I was going to build me a little. Go and hit the
A
button.
little system. It's nice.
Go and hit the button and it
Yeah.
sends me the temperature.
Yeah. It's nice.
You've seen that one though. That one's
This is along the.
it's a vroom, a W room. It's
Is the antenna here?
yeah.
And how about the board to solder it? How do you work with this?
I'm gonna have to do what you did and solder little pins onto
Okay,
it.
look. Nice.
It's
It's like
WRON.
SP12 or 14, 15, some number.
Well, that's new. That's different than the 82, the 8266.
It's a different.
It's newer, but it's not as new as the ESP32.
But it's the same one with more memory, I think. Yes.
It's similar.
Similar.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the same as the ESP32, but no Bluetooth.
I hate to work with so small.
I didn't. When I bought that, I didn't realize it was going to be that small.
I have to solder. You see the small.
I know. I said the same thing. I thought it was going to be about that size.
Yes.
It's pluggable, though.
I thought it was going to be roughly that size, and I went,
Yes.
"Holy cow, that is small."
I use a glasses from Amazon, like a helmet. Great.
You want to see these things, Kenny?
I'm an amplifier. Would you like?
Right, you're doing virtual imaging or
No,
reality?
it's $12 or $20.
So
it's like a helmet with
so-
light and different glasses.
So you could see the small pins.
Oh,
A
okay.
magnifier.
Oh, using it as a magnifier.
Just for working.
That's what I'm going to need to get something like
I
that.
bought several small cameras with a support and use the Android tablet to see the image. But sometimes it's better to put the
You need to bring an article and show us on the screen. Which
They have, Adafruit has a camera system. Adafruit.
Adafruit.
They had a camera for working.
Oh, okay. I'll close the thing
It's
down.
not cheap.
Yeah. I've got a little microscope thing that it shows it on your computer.
You brought that in here.
Yeah.
didn't you? Yeah, that worked pretty good.
I bought the two of them, the small one with a cable,
Yeah.
and you put it in the Android.
Mm-hmm.
You can see whatever you want, your teeth, your ear, everything. It's
okay.
very small. $12, something like that, by
Yeah.
from China.
What the?
It's
What the?
what what it's doing is my iSpy at home. This is not all of it. The garage, if somebody comes in the garage, it's got an air horn sound.
Is it live now?
Yeah, it's behind. That's not the entire screen. It's the bandwidth is too slow for it to catch up. But this is an example of iSpy. My screen, this screen is full normally, full of pictures. And each one of them is individually controlled. Each one of them has its own sound, has its own area selected, has its own alarms. This is this technology, the old stuff. Yeah, that's another type of alarm. That's the bell type. So each type, I have one for each zone. Have different zones, have different sounds. But this is pretty good stuff. The one that's not there is the main driveway one. This is the backyard. The bird feeder, one of the bird feeders. This is the back door, which you can't see there.
Do you have any of them in a web page or something for people to?
Yeah, you can get to them directly. You can go to them directly. Let me get to one of them directly.
Sometimes to know the weather.
This is like remote. That was the dog. That was one in the front. They're all. Let's see. You go to the video tab and let's see if we can get to front east. One of them doesn't remember password, so you have to type it in. And this is what logging into them looks like. It just has a regular login.
Excuse me.
And this is directly from. It's got a hole through basically a server through the router or whatever it is. And that is the web server in the camera.
Okay.
And this is driving the software. And here's setup. You can go to setup on here, device status, device management, and these are all the parameters.
It works by night without light.
Yep. It's night light. They have a IR cutoff, whatever that means. So this particular one is one of my oldest ones. The picture's not that great. The color rendition's poor. This is a newer version.
Let me see the box.
Sure. You can borrow that if you want to. If you want to play with it.
Yeah, I was going to say that almost looks black and white.
Yeah. Let me look at the one. Franklin.
Okay, Frank.
I never would have thought that your name was Franklin until he said that.
People say it sometimes.
Yeah, the WANS cams tend to have better color. It's still not wonderful, but the colors are better. You can borrow that if you want to. You want to borrow it? Give you an idea what it is. That one's right out of the box.
Which one is that?
This is the PNP type, the old type.
It's one of the old. It's one of the new old ones.
The new old ones.
It's a later. It's that one that I showed you in the back that had the nice color.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Remember seeing that one?
Wireless.
Yeah, it's Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Just like it's a Foxcam knockoff.
Okay.
This is a standard Foxcam knockoff.
That's not one that connects to the server in China.
No.
Okay.
Not that he knows of.
Not that I know of, no. Runs these run a little version of Linux.
Yeah.
Waterproof?
These are waterproof.
That one looked like
Wow.
it was waterproof. Yeah.
Things are not usually waterproof.
There's some of my new toys.
This one doesn't do the pan and tilt. It's a fixed version.
It's a bullet camera.
Well, generally, they're pointed in one direction.
Generally, I don't load the software.
It was less than a couple of dollars.
Is it a joystick or just a button?
It's just a button. I only got it because the pin
That
header
one is
matches
that
that up.
$26
Because it's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the old style.
It's just a
But
generic button.
and it's a little bit better color.
But I thought
Once you,
for a project for that, plug it in and be done with it.
Okay. Now the thing is, you need to know what you're getting into. This is the old style,
okay,
meaning that you don't set it up to the camera. I use iSpy at home to monitor these.
it doesn't have like a receiver.
No,
It doesn't.
Okay.
just need a web
The
browser.
receiver is nice because you can plug it into the unit and transmit it to receiver.
Well, the receiver, if you got a PC,
No,
PC is a receiver, yeah.
You
I got one of these security systems.
You probably want one of the newer cameras so you could do the apps easier and stuff like that. Because you have to punch a hole in your router
The
to.
price is right.
The price right. The new one that uses the cell phone to set up,
Yeah.
and it has a China server. There is $22.
Okay. I'm still anti-China, so.
Yeah. So, and what we're talking about with the new ones, you don't have to set up you don't have to punch a hole in your router. But that means it's got a server outside that's directing it toward you. It'll find you no matter where. You turn it on, it'll find you.
They're going to find you.
It's like it's magic.
Yeah, it's broadcasting out to their server somewhere, and then we talk to their server. And that way, Peking knows where you are at any given time and what's going on.
That one is like a little tiny node MCU board.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. And these are sensors,
They're
temperature.
yeah, and they've got the same
humidity.
they've got the same pin configuration as that board, so I'm just going to plug it in. So it just will plug right on top. They're like little tiny shields for that board. Well, for that board, and I was going to go and hit the button and have it tell me stuff.
Button shield.
A button shield. What will come next? We need a shield for a button.
For a couple of bucks. The other thing is a WROOM board. Not board. That's the one that came after the 8266, but before the ESP32. And it's supposed to be
After the ES.
the 8266.
It's small.
It's small. It's supposed to be the same as the 32, but without Bluetooth.
So you need some kind of board or something to
Yeah.
hook this on and connect it to.
Or just a bunch of patients and
Yeah, you probably could mess this up pretty easy with a soldering iron.
I didn't realize it was just that small when I bought it. It was cheap. It was
Right price.
what was that? $3?
$3, I gotta have it.
$3. What the heck? It's the right price.
Okay, so this is a,
That's the WROOM
and that is a microprocessor chip of
with
some sort,
Wi-Fi built into
with
it.
Wi-Fi built into it, emulates a whatever.
82.
It's got IDE.
66.
It's got an SDK,
So you probably can't connect that up to the
Arduino.
IDE.
maybe.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
what's that?
Probably not.
That's a button.
It would be
Okay.
too much trouble.
That's compatible with that or something?
It's pin compatible with that other one.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's stackable, yeah. It's like a little tiny shield.
That would be something that after you had proved in a sketch with the ESP8266, because that's so small,
Yeah.
you can load it into that.
Then you-
and then make it.
Then you build your board and load it into that.
Yeah.
That's just like a small node MCU, smaller version,
Okay.
and that is programmable with the IDE.
Cool.
That WROOM 66 probably doesn't use a lot of power.
I just had to have it. It was cheap.
Because it doesn't have a heat shield on it anywhere. So
Nope.
it doesn't use a lot of power,
Ah.
which is a good thing.
And Adafruit had, when I emailed you about the other stuff.
Yeah.
Adafruit had 32 of those of the Node MCU with the ESP32s on them. And by the time I got done emailing you and clicked back on it to buy one,
It was done.
gone.
I ended up ordering it from Amazon, except it's still going to come from the same China that the eBay device comes from. It was just easier to go through Amazon.
So
I thought I was going to get it quicker. That was my first thought.
Nope.
They came up with the dates, the same dates as eBay.
same thing. So are we ready?
Yeah, you ready?
I guess I'm ready. I don't know.
So, give me a cell job.
I love this thing.
He didn't officially say why. Though. He didn't say it. Notice he's getting smart on us.
Well, with a couple of very minor problems, this thing was easy to program. In multitasking, I've only noticed a couple of weird little quirky things about it. But
What's the cost?
was this $13?
12.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah. And it's 256K. I mean, it's a decent.
And what's the TI what?
It's the MSP 432. It's a Launchpad, TI Launchpad.
Yeah, you actually said it in the email.
They from just a couple weeks ago, when he first was talking to me about it, they changed the IDE. The new IDE apparently has gotten rid of support for some of the old libraries, which is the same problem we were talking about with Arduino. But it is the new IDE is actually based on the new Arduino IDE. So they've got the board manager, they've got the library manager, they've got all that. So it's all in place now, so that when they start getting new libraries and stuff, all they have to do, all it is just plug it in and you're done. Which is, I mean, that's a good thing, but it's kind of a pain because it took me a while to make that work, and I actually ended up having to go back to the old IDE to find the drivers to make that work. So it was kind of a pain. Otherwise, he's right. You just open a new tab, you give it a name. You've got to call your loop and your setup something slightly different, so the loop and the setup match each other inside the new tab, and then that way it knows that when it compiles it, it knows that that's a new thread.
Yeah.
And what I ended up doing was, in the first thread, I've defined all the variables and everything. That way it gets shared across all of them, and it just shares them. You don't have to do anything fancy or whatever.
You can see these names there in the.
They're not up there, are they?
Resolution.
That's just bizarre. There's like, I've got 30 tabs up there.
Yeah. You can see none of them there.
So in the first tab, you put all your global.
I put all. There's actually no code. Well, that's not true. I've got the included code to start the serial terminal up and that stuff, but there's no
It's
code.
common to all of them.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's common. If it's in the very first tab,
So it's like
it
a
becomes.
place where you got all your globals.
Yeah, it becomes common to everything else.
Cool.
So if it's not in the first tab, now what I actually found though was I put a couple of variables in another tab, and they actually did become common to everything else, which I thought, okay, that's a little weird because that's not what it said.
It's not the way it should be.
That's not what it said.
You end up expanding your use of resources
Yeah.
unnecessarily.
But even though it looked like it was sharing variables from other tabs, the sketches all work the way that they should, so go figure that one out. I'm not even going to try.
How big do the sketches compile compared to Arduino? Are they bigger?
Yes, but just slightly.
Slightly bigger. Okay.
It's actually pretty efficient because I think I've got 23, 24, maybe 25 different things going on, and it's only taken up like 13% of everything. So there's plenty of room for it to do more. Plenty of room for it to do more. The other weird thing that I noticed, and I'm not real sure why, and I didn't really have a chance to dig into it much, it seems to only happen with the first ping sensor. But if I'm right here, it does appear to at least slow the serial console down. But it doesn't appear to slow anything else down.
Doesn't make sense, but the ping sensor, I don't know how the sketch works, but that is the thing that you're scanning the fastest. Because that's the same thing with.
Well, all these tasks are actually running at the same time.
I mean, they're not really. You're doing context switching. And actually, if you have interrupts, something like that ping sensor can take more of your time.
I think everything is actually running.
Okay.
Well, you know better than that. You can't tell us that. It's not the way it works.
I can say it.
It sounds good.
It sounds good. I
good.
like the story, and I've heard it before.
Yeah.
Well, here's the reason when I start the serial console up, before I even got anything else, I was just flashing some LEDs and doing one ping sensor, and I started the serial terminal up, and it was way far away from where it should have been. I never saw it say hello world or anything like it should say. I had to put a delay in the serial console loop to let it stop long enough to wait for everything else to get
Were you
initialized.
using 9600 bar?
I am using.
Don't use that. It'll show up a lot faster. That was kind of like my first thought. Boy, this is a waste, because these things were really good at higher speeds.
Yeah. Well.
And actually, if you change it to 230, 400 or something like that, you wouldn't even see that.
But I wanted to see it say "Hello World," and then start counting. That's all I was doing. I never saw the "Hello World." Never.
You would get that faster if you up the speed. I bet you.
I don't think so.
Well, just try it.
I can't try it right
We're
now.
gonna try it now. Humor me.
I'll try it.
Because when I was doing that kind of stuff, there was a lot of stuff that didn't get printed or got half printed, especially when you're printing a lot of stuff. And I upped the speed, I can see everything.
Okay. Something in my brain says that that's backwards.
Why is that? You're spending a whole lot of time messing with that serial port, trying to put characters out to it. More time than you should. If I send it a character and it just does it, then I'm not wasting any time, and it will actually happen, even if it goes to something else. But if I get it out there quick and it can handle it, then I'm done with that.
Okay.
You have a lot of printers, and you need to print all.
Okay, but if you're printing stuff quickly, like just counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
that serial port is the slowest thing on your.
The Hello World will scroll off before you even get a chance to read it, though.
But I mean, as far as taking, you take milliseconds to print stuff, and like writing to that display is like instant. Could be less than a millisecond.
So, okay. Well, the other thing that I've noticed is, like with the Arduinos, the Uno, especially the Uno, when you start the serial console, it resets and starts over again. This one doesn't. It's more like the Leonardo. It doesn't reset the...
It's on.
It's on. So once you plug it in, if you start the console up, it's going to start printing where you're at, wherever it's at, not where you want it. So those were a couple of my weird little...
That one I wouldn't worry about.
No, I'm not worried about that.
What I'm worried about it is you shouldn't be spending all that time printing to that serial port anyway.
It's just something to do right now.
I know. I'm saying if you
if it was
sketches,
If it was up to me, I'd never use the serial port ever. But you need it sometimes to debug stuff.
Yeah, I have been thinking about using the display more.
Yeah.
For that, but it takes more effort, more code to do stuff with the display than it does with the serial port.
I
had that library that works really good.
Well, I ended up. There's only 2 libraries being used right now, and one of them's real small. It's for the temperature sensor, and the other one is for the display. Everything else is all done in a sketch. So, really, I haven't used a whole lot of resources wastefully on just libraries. And the only reason why I used the library for the display was because it was just that much easier to fire it up.
Yeah. And
I'm doing it.
Ping sensor is the same thing.
Well, I didn't use
it for the ping sensor.
You don't
need it.
You don't really need it for the ping sensor. Of course, the library. It should be displaying the values for the ping sensors.
How are you doing sound? But that's you got a separate thread or a separate. That's actually another time waster generally.
Like I said, it's just a demo.
No, I'm just thinking efficiency.
Hush.
Now see, in the old days with the Hero, could have really used something like that.
Yeah.
It would have been powerful.
So I've got just one LED on the board blinking by itself. Then the RGB, I've got it flipping back and forth between green and blue. So it's green for 1 second and then it's blue for 1 second. These LEDs are just flashing randomly. All these are fading at different rates. So they all, if you sit there and watch them, they all do fade. I've got the ultrasonics going.
You have 2 ultrasonics?
3.
3, wow.
3 ultrasonics going, and they're all.
Their response is good. They doing good readings.
And you
They're pretty good.
You can make decisions depending on.
Pretty quickly because it's passing variables around, just like that. That's the temperature sensor. Says it's 54 in here.
What's wrong?
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Some of those things are flaky anyway.
Yeah, this one's.
I'll tell you something else too.
This one's always.
It takes them a long time to settle. Like you can't count on the initial value.
Yeah, this one's always been a little.
The analog.
That's going digital.
The analogs are faster.
Yeah. That one's always been a little.
Yeah.
I've never thought that it was right.
No, some of them are on, some of them are off. You just get one that's more accurate.
I've never thought that
You
one
can
was.
get them though some of them are within 1 degree.
So there's a thread in here that's just doing nothing but counting as well. And so there's everything that's being displayed on the display is also in its own serial thread. There's a whole nother thread running just the serial output.
Yeah, and
yes, it's a big time.
No, it's okay. Because my thought with all this is that you can have kind of like feature threads that sort of take advantage of everything that you're taking in, and you could do something like turn the wheels or fire a rocket to the moon or shoot somebody with a laser.
Yeah, see.
Or start a tone.
It said that.
What is the speed of this?
48 megahertz?
No, the speed of the serial.
Oh, 9600.
You can increase the speed, increasing the baud, because there is a buffer. You fill the buffer, and the interruptions empty the buffer. You
20,000.
go faster.
230,400. I think that's the setting.
Okay.
I go to the
buffer,
next fastest setting.
Empty faster if you
Yes,
use higher baud rates.
My thoughts exactly.
Okay.
I didn't gang up on them. I didn't gang up that time. I didn't join that gang. We have gangs.
I feel bad now.
We got gangs in our group.
It's getting a checksum error off of the humidity sensor every now and then.
What's the problem with that thing?
I don't know.
Oh, you have to wait a certain amount of time for that sensor.
Yeah.
It's usually not hard. You just set it, but you can't just go and look at it too often.
So that is what I have spent 3 or 4 days playing with.
So this is a TI chip.
TI.
And they getting any audience for this chip?
It's got a following.
How long has it been on the market?
You know how long this board's been around?
More than 2 years, I think.
2 years.
So it's still new. Relative.
The new board is red. They changed the position of the buttons.
This board apparently was like the prototype.
Mm-hmm.
The black board, the new board. They made some changes, but nothing that really affects how it works.
Does it have a reset button?
Is this the reset button?
It used to be here. This one.
Okay.
Those are user buttons.
That's my problem with the Raspberry Pi. It doesn't have a
Maybe this
reset
one.
button on it.
Yeah, this is.
That looked like a reset.
That looked like a reset.
The Amazon Fire TV doesn't have a reset on it either. So if the thing crashes, you have to take the power out. You don't have to do it that often, but take it out and plug it back in.
This board also has I didn't explore it, but I wanted to. It's got the ability to check to see how much power it's using.
Yeah, I saw that in your email.
Yeah.
That's a neat feature.
That's a neat feature, and I didn't explore it because it looked to me like that was done through the code builder, not through the Arduino IDE.
Not in the Arduino IDE. It's in the Code Compose Studio.
Yeah, it's in a different IDE for it. There's a separate.
You can see a graph of the consumption. You turn on a LED and you see how go up the power, go down, and it estimate. You can say with 2 AA batteries how long will work the thing, and it estimate 2 months, and 3 weeks, and automatically the software estimate how.
Yeah.
So this is a low power device.
Yeah, very low power.
Oh, okay.
Very low power.
That's one of its objectives.
And
cool.
It just sort of works.
So I might switch from ESP 8266.
It just sort of works. It just.
Oh, okay.
Try it out.
And
you have a lot of stuff to do. This thing. How much code are you using? Percent?
12 or 13%.
How much? How much RAM and how much flash does it have?
It's got
flash 500, 12,000. 500.
And 256K.
And RAM, I think is 64.
It's 256.
All right, so that's sort of like the mega.
And you have 84 IOs.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot of pulse width modulation IOs.
Yeah. So
almost all of them.
What do you do about Wi-Fi?
No.
No.
What does it?
There is a
connection for Ethernet port.
They have something like the Arduino shields, but they call it the how did they call it?
Boosters.
Boosters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Booster packs.
Everybody's going to have their own
I
name.
was going to say thing, but
They've got a booster that's got a Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Remember probably 2 years ago, I had the TI Launchpad CC3200. That was a Wi-Fi capable board, and it was $25 back then. I don't know what it is now, but I think that board could plug onto this.
I got the new booster pack with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It costs $29.
Yeah.
So Wi-Fi is expensive.
Why? They're on their own thing. The CC3200 chips, 3000 chips, are something that they came up with. So they're on their own thing. They're not using the cheap 8266.
Are those 3000? Those are the same as the ones that they were using with the Arduino.
Yes, back before the 8266.
Yes.
So I have a feeling there's ways to set up software serial on this, so you could talk to an ESP8266.
There were a bunch of guys working with the Texas boards, and they developed the Arduino for those boards. But maybe a year or two ago, Texas Instruments contacted those people and is supporting them, giving compilers and all the information, and they are working pretty well with all the stuff of Texas Instruments.
256K flash, 64K RAM.
So what they're planning to do is they're planning to get some of the IoT business by putting this device out. I mean, everybody. I mean, they have a thought in mind, except for the Arduino people. It didn't seem like they had a thought. They just wanted to do something.
So they make people using the chips, the boards.
Yeah. Texas Instruments sells a lot of stuff, just like Intel sells a lot of stuff.
And my impression of these boards, the reason they're selling them so cheap is
to get people using them.
You sign up as a developer, and then they want to sell you 1,000 boards.
Cost $8.
Yeah.
the microprocessor, and they sell all the board by 12. They are promoting.
That's the way it is done.
Well, they want you to develop something and then go to TI and say,
Oh,
build it.
I need this.
And we're going to spend millions of dollars. It's got
They are very good in DSP processors, digital sign-up processors. They have almost all the market of this area in Texas Instruments.
48 megahertz, 32-bit Cortex M4, 24-channel analog, 14-bit resolution, 2 comparators, some other stuff, 4 16-bit timers and 2 32-bit timers, up to 4 I2C channels, 8 SPI channels, and 4 UARTs.
And they had more interrupts too, I think.
It doesn't say that in this particular thing, but yeah, I would imagine so. But it's running an entirely different. I mean, it's run like a Cortex processor, so it's entirely different design and thought process than the AVRs. I mean, completely different idea. Just
Think that could run a garage door opener?
a what?
I mean, you think that can run a garage door opener?
I think that would be overkill for running your garage door open.
Usually an IVR processor, when you do a shifting, when you have something and shift the register, the bits, they do by loops in instruction. The ARM can shift, I think, 32 bits in one instruction.
Wow. Yeah.
Instantly, almost.
It's fast.
And this is like a multiplication, I think that this IC has a numeric processor or something, a math processor, Go processor to do fast.
Oh, yeah.
Also.
It says some. I thought I saw that somewhere. It's got the standard 40-pin booster pack connection, and it will support the 20-pin booster packs and blah,
That's
blah,
probably,
blah.
probably 3 volt, right?
It is 3
Yes.
volts.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, speaking of, I've got the level shifter on here because the ultrasonics are all 5 volts. So instead of putting resistors and all that, I just used a level shifter to do it.
So are you using like a CMOS device or what for level shifting?
I don't know what that is. It's something that came from Adafruit.
Is it a chip?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah, it
chip.
could be.
But they
if you
use
have a
transistors.
82
They use
It might just be a bunch of resistors.
to do the shift, the level shifting.
used to be
It's in hardware. Oh, okay.
40, 50 is
I don't know.
Then they use ICs, use transistors for each sign.
That chip is so small, I can't even.
Three pins. Three pins each sign.
I can't even read what's on that. So.
It's a MOSFET.
actually is a good thing to have because you have a lot of the newer stuff is 3 volts.
Yep. Well, I've got
Old stuff is 5 volts.
I've got a stack of them. If some of them I've got are only 4 pins, but this one was 8 pins. So if you want one or need one, I've got a stack of them.
So how much they cost?
They were cheap.
Like I can
eBay.
make that part of the next China shipment.
I would order a bunch of them though, because I think the
They're
little
cheap
4.
from AliExpress, it costs $1 something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the little 4-pin ones. I think I paid 99 cents a piece for those, and I bought probably 15 or 20 of them.
Very cheap.
This one was a little bit more expensive, but it's got more. It's got like 8 pins on it. But it works good. It works so good. I'm thinking. I think the next project for this is pull it apart, pull the Mega off of the bitty butt, throw this on the bitty butt, and let it go.
Okay. Put some motors on it.
Put some motors on. Put some motors under the breadboards and let it go.
Frank, did you have anything?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Frank
I didn't do
didn't.
anything on this week.
We have an announcement to make.
Oh no, or maybe I don't know.
Maybe. Device missing? Yeah, that's our announcement. Cast desktop. Device missing. I can't even find the device. There it is.
Oh, I know what I was going to say before we.
Did something crash?
I don't think so.
There it is. Did you let it go? Did you disconnect?
I disconnected it.
Huh, that's odd.
The sound sketch that's running, that is a direct copy of an Arduino. I did not change one line of code.
Use the tone function.
Yeah, I didn't change one line of code from the Arduino to it, other than where it says setup. It had to be a unique setup loop and a unique loop.
So are the Arduino libraries compatible?
Some.
So how did you make the sound sketch work?
Well, when he's done with his announcement, I'll take the screen back over again.
Arduino on Arduino battle ends.
The sound sketch use tone, the function tone, and those guys from Energia, they have the tone function working in all the boards.
Well, I didn't use the tone library or the pitch library. I just redefined it.
Yeah.
All the variables.
So what is this? Arduino on Arduino battle.
The two Arduinos.
They use hardware
The
to produce the
European
tone.
one and the
You can
US one?
call the function
It
and
looks like
go
they're
out, do something else.
reconciliated.
So what does that mean? Does anybody care?
They're going to be merged by the end of the year. Hopefully it'll bring their hardware and their software together, right? You want? Yeah. We're hoping.
Hopefully some of the
Arduino and Arduino.
the Arduino.org people seem to be advancing hardware really well. I mean, in my opinion, the hardware seems like it's getting better, but the CC side seems to be dealing a lot with the IDE and making the IDE better. And if they merge back together, then hopefully we can get some of this really cool hardware that's only available over in Europe right now. So.
Junk I've been tinkering with too to find that. If you go to the news, Google News, you can personalize it. You can add stuff like down here. You can add a topic, like any news topic, like I added Arduino. So now in my news I have an Arduino section. Anything's happening in Arduino, I see that. You can select who you want to hear from. For example, I want to hear from Wall Street Journal, Business Week, Reuters. Down here at the New York Times is almost shut off, as low as it can go. So you can sculpture news the way you want it.
My wife does that.
Okay.
She has to read all those newspapers.
That's a nice feature, and then I have it come up by default so you see what's going on. Other stuff. Tomorrow I'm going with DirecTV, and I'm downgrading my internet service to AT&T 6 megabit so I can get my total bill with the ultimate package, which is pretty next to the top, right at $100.
Still a lot of money.
Yeah, versus 167 with Time Warner Cable.
$167 a month?
Yes, Time Warner Cable.
Jeez, oh my!
Yeah.
I think what am I missing here?
Yeah. Naked and Afraid. Just saying. This comes, and I'm comparing the two. I'm throwing this out.
Did you look at the Cincinnati Bill? I mean, I look at what
We don't have Cincinnati Bill, sir.
Oh wow, they're offering It seems like they're offering it, and it may be just starting, but they're offering a pretty good deal. 50 megabits per second, and they offer a TV package. You can even get, for what you're paying, you can even get phone thrown in.
The phone is $9.99,
Oh, it's $10. So.
$10 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the result of AT&T and DirecTV merging or whatever, and they're offering a nice package.
Time Warner, $200 a month.
$167.
That's outrageous.
Yeah. What they do is our bill was a year ago was about 100,
Right.
and they've been every month, and then they forced you to go to individual connections. They did away with the analog service, and so each TV has to have a box now, and they jacked it up in. And what happens is, if you're an old customer, you get screwed, and you can't go to the new customer deal unless you threaten to quit.
Yeah.
And then they'll offer you the new package. They would have dropped us down to 147 a month. They do have the 15 megabit package standard now, so that they do have much higher throughput. But they mess with you, and even with their new package, it's inferior, it looks like, to DirecTV. DirecTV has give you a terabyte drive, and Genie, and they sell you boxes for $7.99 a piece. They lease them, basically, is what they're doing for 5 TVs.
So is this a year deal, or are they going to keep the price?
It's 2 year.
2 year. So you got 2 year, and then you can go back to Time Warner.
Yeah, and make a deal with Time Warner.
Yeah.
Time Warner right now looks like they're, even after the end of the year, it looks like they're still going to be $30 difference.
I just found that on the
merging.
internet.
They're becoming some company called
Spectrum.
Spectrum, yeah.
Yep. See, I'm on them now, so I'm seeing the new Spectrum stuff. The DirecTV will offer you your TV on your laptop, on your cell phone, anywhere, and there's no charge. Time Warner wanted you to have the Wi-Fi package in order to have that feature. I don't know what their Wi-Fi package is. I was fed up with them creeping up the price every year. And DirecTV may try that with us 24 months from now. If so, we may go back. But I'm letting people know, so the minds that be, when they're surfing around, we can conspire to find the best deal. Because things are changing now. Amazon is changing.
Yeah. More stuff is going to become streaming.
Yeah. And that's what DirecTV is already there. They're already there with their streaming stuff. You can even control your recorder and everything off your streaming device. So they're moving ahead. So
I stick a little wire outside my bedroom window and get 30 channels.
Yeah.
I got an antenna in the garage. It gets about 50 channels.
Make it in
Get Dayton,
Fox News,
Cincinnati, Kentucky.
I get Fox News every day.
Yeah.
How'd you get Fox News?
It comes on with channel 45.
It's on. He gets it via Fox, not
Fox
News.
45.
Fox 45. There's Fox TV, and then there's Fox News. So there's different worlds.
But, channel 19 and channel 45 is Fox. So you
Fox TV.
Fox TV, and it's free.
And Fox TV has news, but it's not Fox News.
Okay.
Although sometimes it is.
Sometimes
Chris
it is.
Wallace on Sunday.
It's
more than.
and stick a wire out your bedroom window, you got it.
Mm.
30 channels for free.
New invention.
Yeah, no.
The sound, though, it's all done with pulse width modulation. I didn't use the tone at all. It's got tone. It's got that.
How fast of a tone can you generate?
I don't know.
Probably not much over a kilohertz. That's my guess.
So are they going to put a dish on your house then?
Yeah.
And
Put a hole in your roof.
We got a chimney, but I don't know. They do it. This has been done.
No, it's been done. They figure out where to put it.
Yeah.
It's like my sister has that, and right outside of one of the bedroom windows on the roof, there's this dish.
It's probably going to be on the east end of the house above the garage because there are no trees there. West end, I got a tree.
Do you remember when satellite? I can't remember what's this. This was like the late '80s, let's say early '90s, when they had these big giant dishes.
Oh
I
yeah.
had one of those in the yard.
Oh yeah, buddy.
And you could pick up everything.
Yeah.
You had to tell the controller, move the dish,
Yes.
follow the satellite.
Those were the bad old days.
What's better? The cool thing is that all of this stuff was free. Plus, you could see sometimes, you know how they have channels, and they would just be prepping. There wouldn't be a real news show. They would be sitting up there playing. You know, how are we going to do the show? And that was interesting.
One of my
The
friends,
live feed.
yeah, one of my friends worked at Channel 22. That was how it all. You go to watch the NBC feed.
Yeah.
It was always just people just standing around talking, or somebody would say, "Hey, we got 5 minutes" or something, and then everybody would shut up.
But see, the fun part was actually setting all of it up, because one of my neighbors helped me do it, and his wife was afraid that thing was going to fall over on us. You know, you be careful.
So what happens if it rains? You're out of luck?
If you have hard rain, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
You have to watch it on your phone, on your cell phone, or on your PC. And that's available on your cell phone and your PC. My sister has it. She says when it rains really hard, they'll lose it. And I told her you can watch it on your cell phone or on your PC, because they have DSL. And that's a way around it. But yeah, and you will lose it during a hard thunderstorm. Leroy said in the old days he had one that was worse years ago, but hopefully I haven't seen too many people complaining about that.
Well, even with the antennas, you know, on some channels, if it's a bad weather day, you can just count it out.
The digital,
Yeah.
it weather messes with it.
Okay. Channel 2, I call it Channel 2, it's actually Channel 12.
So it's going to be a dish, and it's going to be Wi-Fi in the house then?
It's going to be dish, and there's one box, and then it's going to be, I think it is Wi-Fi. They have what they call the Genie now, which is the DVR with the terabyte in it. And then you have two channels. You get two channels with the Genie. And then you have remotes that are on each individual TV. You have two channels total that you can watch at any given time throughout the house.
Right.
And you can control what you want to watch, and you can watch your DVR from any location, which my sister just loves. Hadn't figured that out yet. You can record up to 5 shows at a time, and you can watch from any TV, any recorded show. And I think that's Wi-Fi. It comes free with Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is provided.
But there'll be an attachment for each
TV.
TV.
It's like I suspect it's going to be like a Wi-Fi device at each TV,
Yeah, right.
and Genie is going to be Wi-Fi, and it's going to be through Wi-Fi. I'm guessing, because it comes with Wi-Fi. It could be like rabbits, but that would be too complex for rabbits. It could be rabbits too. I'll just have to wait and see.
What's rabbits?
Rabbits are where you have a transmitter and receiver.
Right.
And each, like I use a rabbit between the kitchen and my main unit.
Right.
So any given time I go in the kitchen and say, go to AVI input, and that's a rabbit module there. It's just repeating whatever it's seeing at the tuner.
It's a repeater.
They could be doing rabbits, they could be Wi-Fi, they could be video Bluetooth. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow.
So what it sounds like is that a lot of people are going to get confused by this stuff. I mean,
Well, if
I
my
give you all these
sister-
features.
if my
How will I
sister-
use it?
Yeah. If my sister's
It
not
doesn't
confused, If my sister can figure it out, I have a chance. Leroy could crack it, well, no matter what it is. Okay, but me, if I feel pretty confident I can do it, if my sister can do it.
But kind of one of the things that's happening now, I talk to my students at Cincinnati State why they should know all of this stuff. You got all these networks in your house. You got these game machines. You got TVs. You should know how the router fits in. You should be able to kind of analyze it and figure out where the problem is, because you're going to have some problems.
Yeah, the rabbits are 2.4 gigahertz. They have a channel. They have a channel set up on 2.4 gigahertz, but it's point to point. Okay, and I haven't had any problem with that, but you realize you could if you set the channel, if they're matching the Wi-Fi channels, that you could see that could be an issue.
And see, you know a lot about this, but suppose you had like a regular citizen.
Yeah,
and it's not working.
Yeah,
and
this should have been cracked years ago. We agree this should have been cracked. Whether they use rabbits or whatever the heck they use, there's no reason that, like audio being dispersed wherever through your house, that should have been cracked 20 years ago when Bluetooth came out. How to set it up to come out your speakers on your stereo. That's crap when they hadn't solved that. And you got a phone that you can't output to your stereo. That's foolishness. That should have been, that's ancient history stuff. There's stereo receivers without a Bluetooth in it? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. And it's still like that.
Sounds like you're out there, Jim.
Yeah. This integrate, I hope they did a good job. I'll know by next week. I hope they've done a good job of integrating this and making it idiot-proof, because they're selling these things. That's what they're selling. DirecTV, millions of customers. That's what they're shipping.
No, I don't doubt that it works. They probably have pretty good customer support. I'll use the example again. Apple has this great phone, yet there's always this line of people in that Apple Genius store. If it's that great, then why you got all those people in there checking?
Yeah. They're getting access to the technology through Apple. Yeah, they're successful. They're like IBM used to be. They had these big mainframe computers, and you go in and you talk to the IT department. They don't know anything. The computer, the IBM guy will come in. You want to run TCP/IP? The IBM guy, and they'd sell you a box. And it was good.
It was.
And it worked.
It was. Actually, AT&T used to be good. I used to work there. They're not good like they used to.
That's who I'm going with. I'm going to be with AT&T tomorrow, Frank.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't sign on right now. There's a guy actually used to work for me. He just stopped working for them, but he was an architect. And so he used to tell me about, like if he were there now, he would have been in on this integration. And he used to tell me about a lot of wacky stuff that was done. And the plan and the replan. We're gonna fix this whenever. There's a lot of stuff out there that's flaky. It's not gonna get fixed. It takes too much to fix it.
Yeah, we ran into that today. The wireless end stuff.
I just can't get over the fact that you can pay over $100 for TV when it's free.
Make it in the free.
Look, Jim's gone off the ranch.
Yeah.
Got off the ranch, right?
So we're coming down. We're coming back from the extreme.
Make it what now?
Make it in the free is the name of the show. It's a survivor like.
How many threads do you have?
Sunday night.
23, 25.
Sunday night, yeah.
I think I could go more.
Actually, Survivor's on Wednesday, CBS.
I don't know what the
It's
top
been
would
out for
be.
16 years now.
Yeah. I don't watch it anymore.
I'm getting tired of it.
How much can you do the same stuff
I-
over and over?
Yeah, that's it.
Granted, a lot of the threads are doing the same thing.
The twists are not there like they used to be.
They have the millennials and Gen X.
Yeah.
It's a lot of threads.
And the way I look at it, same thing. What's the difference between millennials and Gen X?
What,
The age groups.
20 years?
No.
15 years?
But there's kind of like overlap and stuff like that. And it's all the same. You have to be my age.
Yeah.
God, all wacky. I hear this from my twins are 35 and they start talking about the kids now, like the new group that's coming up who's 22. They're saying things like, "We don't want to work," and they don't know anything.
That's the new
But we want everything.
Yeah.
That's the new style cameras. Those are not live. You have to select one to be live. The new style, you know,
The entitlement trial. That's what it is.
you don't have to use a
Well,
browser.
it said the same thing about them when they came in. But see, now they're establishment.
Yeah, really, yeah.
And that's audio too.
Yeah.
The old stuff didn't have audio. And let's see.
It has a speaker also.
You can talk to it.
talk
Yeah.
to the people in the scene.
He's got the ring.
Hey, you.
You know,
I'm looking at you.
you seen the commercial on the ring? It's a little application at the door. You press the doorbell and you talk to people inside. So he's got the
Like if you
Like the ring.
were there at home.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah. I mean, but
There's the microphone button right there.
Yeah, yeah.
4 or 5 weeks ago, we were talking about doing something just like it, and now it's on TV.
Yeah.
They were watching us.
Hello.
Yeah. I think this sensor is.
Before it switched back, it said it.
Yeah.
Hello.
that may be shy.
I think it's bad. It's only.
Yeah.
Hello.
getting the echo?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You caught part of it. What it is, you've got a delay. And there you catch
And you
part
hear
of it.
the echo, the delay.
You'll catch it. So if it's long enough, you'll hear it on the way
Now,
before it
if
switches
you wanted
back.
to, you might be able to scale that. Because there's a little formula in there. You tune it, you probably can make that work.
Yeah. Well, I was holding it and it went up to 60. I don't think I'm 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think I'm exactly. Either that or it's just really, really slow.
No, it's probably bad. But if you had to,
Well,
you
what?
can make it work because you do get some change.
It was a 99-cent sensor, so
It's good enough.
That beeping noise was, it recorded something, recorded movement, recorded me moving the camera probably. There, it changed picture.
yeah, it looks
And
Oh.
that beeping noise indicated somebody moved. the
100.
camera.
Something is moving.
125 degrees. Oh, now I'm down to 61. So there was an error in there somewhere.
Either that or you got software.
The relation on the value.
I'm using somebody else's code.
No, it's okay. Sometimes it's like
It's probably just flaky. I know that.
those
and-
things are not as accurate as the analog. though.
No, and I know
And
that,
they're
that
slow in response.
these are really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to program this, probably the easiest way without having to load the drivers in there. They have software to find the stuff, and I don't like them. And you have to load something to use them too. ODX driver if you want to use Internet
Another
Explorer.
features you download is SDK or
There's not an SDK that I know of. There's a
plugins or
what?
there is software that you add to the camera, plugins or
Yeah, the ODX.
Active. Do you use this with a web browser?
Yeah.
It's probably something like an ActiveX kind of component or something.
you add.
Yeah, you have to
and
turn on active.
You have new services with new.
And you have to, if you're using it now with, the other one is Internet Explorer, they use with Chrome use a different login. And it'll show you use the second login there. You'll see there are two of them. The Chrome is what they call a push server or something. So what I would do is just find it, boot it up, connect it to your router, boot it up, and if you can find it, if you got a browser or something that shows you
You
what's
said
connected.
this is running Linux.
It's running
The
a
server.
very, very small version of Linux.
I'll tell you something else. There's a difference between Edge and Internet Explorer. And you can even use Internet Explorer with Windows 10. A lot of things don't work with Edge that will work with the latest version of Internet Explorer.
And this, my new cameras are a prime example. They're written for Internet Explorer. They will not work with Windows 10 because they're running Edge.
But you can run Internet Explorer with Windows 10.
I can't. I can try to install it,
Yeah.
but if you try to install it from Windows, it installs Edge.
Okay, but Edge is going to be there. There's a way to do it.
Okay.
Go to Google. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact,
I'm not that
as a matter of fact, Internet Explorer is actually there. It's just Edge is the default. When you try to open up a browser, you get Edge. But if you actively try to open Internet Explorer, you can open it. I had that problem with my camera because it doesn't work with Edge. It works with Internet Explorer.
Oh, okay.
Even on Windows 10.
Find that article.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, it should be simple. That would be good.
It's not hard.
Because I can go from Windows 7 to Windows 10 on one of my computers if I can do that.
Yeah.
I didn't change from 7.
Windows
I have
10,
a lot of programs running on Windows 7.
It works pretty good.
I don't want to try 10.
It works pretty good. If you have old printers, they didn't support the printers like they should have. But most of the stuff works pretty good.
Printers with Windows 10, printers seem to be an issue, and it's really the biggest issue is probably a printer.
Yeah.
Everything else seems to work.
Yeah. And see, you don't want to buy another printer.
And webcams.
Just because you went to Windows 10.
If you have an old printer, you won't find the driver for Windows 10.
No, you won't. You won't.
My older printer had a Canon. I got a Canon that eventually did work with Windows 10. I had other issues too. USB, too much data on the USB line turned out to be the issue, and on my laptops. So now I'm finding out I can drive 4 devices from each USB port, and that's it.
Well, you get one of those extension things.
No. Extension things, a hub.
Yeah.
But you find out what happens is, and I found it with Windows 7, they finally got the drivers up to date enough that it was telling me that when I plugged in the 5th device, it was too much data. It would become flaky.
Okay, that's your Chromebook.
No, that's from one of these. And I got 2 of these doing the same thing.
It should work.
I
I got 7. God, I got at least 7 USB things coming.
Oh, really?
It depends on what you've got plugged in and
What stuff is doing.
and how much power each device takes.
Okay, see, the thing is that with the extender, though, I know. Do you power your extender? Your extension thing? You need to power that thing.
Okay. And I have a powered
Because then
one.
that will say that each port on the extender can drive more. You have the same problem if you have something that's an expansion, but you're still using the power that comes out. It's going to be not enough. If you go past 4, 3, you may die.
I had one of those powered hubs that didn't make any difference.
And I've run into the same thing. And it's,
With
the powered hubs work
the blue
great
light on
for
it,
charging stuff.
Didn't make any.
I got the 2 monitors, and I got all the Arduinos and flash drives, and no problem.
Yeah, and
Keyboard
also,
is plugged in.
And I've been prowling around and searching for devices that claim they can do that. Another thing is if you plug in one of their external hard drives, USB hard drives,
Takes more power.
takes more power.
Yeah.
And even on the powered hubs, no. And I got a powered hub. I got a new one.
I've seen the same thing. My
Okay.
powered hub does not work right. But if I use one of the active cables, not a regular USB cable, an active USB cable, then stuff works better.
I could see that with the Chromebook, but with that one, it should be okay.
Now,
Because you got let's see,
my
1,
desk-
2, 3, 4 USBs just off of the device.
It could be partially a power issue. but
My
it's a
desktop
band.
does the same thing though. If I plug in a powered hub,
You get past a certain point and it'll die.
My desktop does it.
But I thought it was a power issue to begin with when I was bitching to him about it. And he said, no. And then now I've run into the bandwidth problem. That's another issue. You use too much bandwidth and then we'll get mad.
If you plug in devices in that use a lot of bandwidth, there's only so much that's going to come out of it. That makes sense.
Okay.
Well, and NVIDIA.
And I got webcams as my main thing.
And that may be your problem.
Yeah. But
You're using a lot of
it's
bandwidth.
because I can plug in the power adapter and it does the same thing.
No. I can believe that easily.
Okay. Just too much garbage coming out.
Yeah, too much data.
I've got like 12 external hard drives, and I cannot run them through a hub. They have to be plugged directly in. Cannot run them through a hub.
That's another thing. Hard drives are using a lot of data too.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to do the impossible.
Yes, we are.
You're stressing the system.
Well, we're going.
And I generally use Linux more than Windows. Windows actually seems to handle it pretty well. That the Linux is the one that seems to have the problem with
You're still stressing it with that many external hard drives.
So USB 3.0 should solve a lot of that. More
It's
power
faster.
and more power and faster. Both. So they got
USB 4.
4. Has that happened?
Not yet. Soon. Isn't there a
Pretty good.
3.3 out now or something?
I haven't even got a 3 device yet, except for one of my.
I have 3 coming out of some of my computers, but I don't have any devices that are 3.
The hard drives I've got are 3, but I've only got a couple of 3 ports on my computer.
Different ports, different power ropes.
So.
Yeah, I sent you that list of the Chromebooks that will be supported by the Android software. You might want to send that to him.
If I can find it.
All right, I can find it in my sent pile. That's true. I don't send that much mail to you. Not bad.
Speaking of mail, just because, some time ago I did actually create a Google group, and I had no idea what it actually was for. Do you know what that is? It's an email list server.
Oh, okay.
So I probably need to relinquish control of it to you so you could put all the emails in there and have them sent out. Then
It's a group on my address book. Just a group on my address book. That's all it is.
I had no idea what it was. I just set it up.
I don't know how it works because I love a new schedule, a new diary or something. I bought a ticket in Delta.
Mhm.
And immediately I had the schedule of the flight in the application. What? How they do that?
Yeah. That's bad when they get it in your appointments. Man.
But
It's a new world.
I think that the idea of the list manager, though, is it keeps track of topics and stuff. So if we sent, and it would be a mass list. So if we just sent a message to the group list, to the group email, it would go out to everybody, and everybody could comment on if they were interested in that topic. I think that's what that was for.
Yeah, but the distribution list for this club will never be public.
Well, it still wouldn't be.
And you can't mail to it, and that's intentional. I don't want you to be able to mail to it. Only me, and I'm very anal about that. I try to respect people's rights, and the groups. And the groups are good, but you volunteer for the group,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I'm headed. And I don't have to control the groups. I'd like to have input, but don't have to control them.
And usually a group has a specific purpose, a theme or some subject to work
Yeah,
on.
we need, like the Yahoo groups. I think that's great if they still have that. I think that's a good tool for specific subjects.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
It's still around. It's still around. And you can create another one if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm a member to some.
I still have an account with Yahoo. It was my first email, was from Yahoo. I'm still maintaining the account.
Yeah.
Used to be a,
They have
a big deal.
Used to be.
Yeah, it used to be.
And you could create your own group. And if they're still there, we don't care if there's a big deal or not. If they have the tools that we want, I would use Yahoo. Much as I hate it, I'd use them grudgingly.
I mean, you load up Yahoo, I mean, it takes forever to load that front page. Forever.
They also had security
They got
violation. Yahoo's had security violation, and they also let the
government
look at scan the incoming mails.
Yeah.
All incoming mails scanned by your government. Thank you very. That's recent, like last week.
Plus, they got hacked.
They got hacked.
Yeah, all their passwords got.
Yeah.
They are looking for special phrases or nouns.
Sure. I can see, I see the point of view of the government if it's FBI or something looking for phrases, but
There's got Apple thought of.
a thin line.
Yeah.
Even if